If I could single out one single habit that had the most impact in my life in the past 12 months, that would be writing. With writing, I was able to achieve less overthinking, less anxiety, more clarity, more calmness, better writing skills, obviously, and more emotional intelligence. I could keep talking about that list for hours and hours on end. Writing completely changed how I view my self improvement journey, how I view my life, how I express my ideas, how I articulate my thoughts, both on paper and in front of a camera right here. Because the thing about writing is that when you write in private, you start to build a vision. And when you write in public, you start to build a business. And I only wish that I had started sooner. The way I recommend you to start writing your journal is with pen and paper. I know we have like our phones, and I know we have like 1,000 different apps that you can use to like writing and stuff. Like you have Notion, you have Obsidian, you have like, you name it, like whatever, you have Apple Notes, doesn't matter. I'll keep this one very short. So if you suffer with a speedy brain, meaning you can't keep up with your thoughts, you need to be writing in pen and paper. That's a trick that you're going to use to basically force your brain to slow down so you can pay more attention to the words that you're putting on paper. And that way you'll be able to articulate your thoughts a little bit more, and you're going to pay more attention to your own thoughts. It's basically a trick to slow your brain down. So if you overthink a lot, you can trick your brain into thinking more slowly so you can make sense of all the mess. That insight alone can save you hours and hours and hours of just suffering trying to get like a few sentences out. So just go with pen and paper, and you'll be forced to go slower because your mind is way more fast than your hands. Believe me. So start with pen and paper. That's the first tip. What to write about? That's going to be one of the most common questions of everyone starting a journal. And I'm going to present you with a few prompts that I used on a daily basis for the past 8 months that helped me a lot just to take my thoughts and put into paper. My 3 favorite ones are gratitude, soliloquies, and memories and dreams. If you don't know what is a soliloquy, don't worry, I'm going to explain it all. Gratitude should be pretty straightforward and doesn't need to, like, you don't need to force this. It can be as simple as you had a good night and you're grateful for that. Like you had a good night of sleep and you're grateful for it. Or you didn't like got late to work and you're grateful for it. Or maybe someone sent you a nice message and you're grateful for it. So don't force this. It should be very simple, and it can be small. It don't need to really like invent or reinvent the wheel here. Just things that you are genuinely grateful for, just put that on paper. I'm grateful for fill in the blank. Soliloquies. Okay, so you're probably wonder what the hell is a soliloquy, and it's basically an ancient word that means to speak your thoughts aloud to yourself regardless of anyone hearing. In a context of a journal, you're basically putting your thoughts on paper. You're basically writing a monologue to yourself, and you can add a twist to it. I like to add questions to the end of thought because I believe like when you reach end of thought and you add questions, you are forced to think more logically about your thoughts, and that way you can basically analyze your brain. So let's say you can start with today I'm feeling anxious, blah blah blah, and I don't know why, etc., etc., and then you just put on paper whatever comes into your mind at the speed in which you're writing. Remember, do this with pen and paper. And to add a twist, to add the like magical question at the end of thought, you can say things like, for example, a whole soliloquy would be like, I'm feeling anxious today, but to what end am I feeling anxious? And you don't ask why, you ask to what end, because that way you be kind of like forced into thinking about the logical reasons behind your anxiety. Because usually, at least for me, most of my anxiety don't have a logical reason behind it. And when I realize that through questioning myself in the journal, I feel very relieved. Memories and dreams are perhaps one of my favorite journaling prompts. So basically, it's a super fun way to get back to things that you like dreamed of. You can relive good memories. You can relive even bad memories because you can learn from them. So don't shy away from, like, if you had a nightmare or something, you wake up in the middle of the night sweating and all like gasping for air and stuff. Don't worry. In the next morning, on the morning following of that, like write the journal. Write your memory, write your dreams, write everything. To make this very simple, you can even write about like a movie that touched you, or about a breakup, or maybe you have a new client, or maybe you got a certain amount of money from your job and you're very happy about it and it's a good memory. Write about the memories and write about the dreams, because when you go back to it, like it's very fun for me. Sometimes I just grab my journal and I open like a random page for like 5 months ago, and I read like one of my memories, one of my dreams, and it's really fun to see just how far I've came in this journey, and also just remember some stuff that I feel like putting on paper. How often should you write is another question that will probably came onto your mind. I basically write my journal every single day religiously, and I've been doing that for the past 8 months. And I recommend that you do this every single day as well, in whatever time you choose. I do it in the mornings, you can do it at night, you can do it in the middle of the day. It doesn't matter. As long as you can stick with it, it really doesn't matter. But please do it every day, because the consistency of doing it every day is very, very important. So you can build and articulate a little bit more about your thoughts on a daily basis, and you can understand your own mind in a better way faster. So here's an action step for you, which I'm calling the minimal viable journal. So you pick a pen and paper of your choosing. You can do it with field notes, Moleskine, doesn't really matter. You choose a time and a place to write. This is super important for habit creation. You write 3 to 5 entries with a variety of prompts. For example, you can do 2 entries for things you're grateful for and 3 entries for the rest. After writing, read through your notes from the day and reflect. Close your journal, move on, repeat the next day. Like I mentioned before, there is really no downsides to writing a journal. It's virtually free to start if you think about it, and it's going to make a huge, huge difference in your self-awareness, basically. It's something that you can start noticing the difference in your own mind, in the way you speak, in the way you portray yourself to other people, in the way you talk, in the way you basically write as well, in the way you behave. So you can notice that in just a few days, and it's just amazing. It's a path that's going to lead you to a lot of self-awareness, and you're not going to regret it. The act of writing itself will almost become like a ritual for you, like a cornerstone of your day, let's say. And all of that self-awareness that you're building is going to be very beneficial for you, because self-awareness is the only thing standing between the life you live right now and the life you want to live in the future. And if you don't know what that life might be for you in the future, writing will also help with that. And the beauty of all of this is that you can achieve it one word at a time. Anyway, I hope this resonates with you. If you like this video, click the like below, subscribe to the channel, consider subscribing to my newsletter, Driven Makers. One email every single week for you to live a better life and make more money in your business. It's all about self-improvement and business combining all together into the Driven Makers newsletter. The link is in the description. Please, if you also want to leave a comment in the video, maybe talk about your writing journey, if you write at all, if you're going to start writing a journal, I 10 out of 10 would recommend, but wanted to hear your thoughts as well. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Peace.